Hi everyone, my name is Les and today I'm reviewing the movie Disney Descendants. So this is the first in a trilogy of movies, if you can believe it. And it's directed by Kenny Ortega, who was the director of the 3 High School Musical movies. And it's featuring Dove Cameron, Cameron Boyce, Boo Boo Stewart, Sophia Carson, Mitchell Hope, Kathy Najimy, and Kristen Chenoweth. I was really happily surprised to see some of these famous actors being a part of this film. And you know what? I was pleasantly surprised. This is the first time I ever watched this film before. It's been a while since I watched Disney Channel movies in general. I generally watched them when I was younger, of course. And I've heard of The Descendants, but I had no idea what they were. This came out in 2015, so it's kind of newer franchise or newer Disney Channel movies. So it's from a separate generation from myself personally. I grew up with like High School Musical and Cadet Kelly, and so, but I was curious because I know they have a bunch of like TV shows and books, I believe, and so I was just extremely curious. So the synopsis of this movie is the Prince of Beast and Belle. So Beast and Belle are king and queen of this universe, and they are rulers of the United States of Oregon, I think that's what it's called. And their son, whose name is Ben, he's going to be coronated. And the first thing he wants to do as king is allow some of the descendants of the evil people of this universe to come to the United States of Oregon. The villains of this universe were exiled when Beast and Belle became king and queen, and so he wants to bring the descendants of those evil people to his side school, basically. The island that the evil people were exiled to is called the Isle of the Lost, and the preparatory school is called Aridon Preparatory. We mostly follow 4 descendants. We also follow Ben, but the 4 main descendants we follow are Mel, Carlos, Jay, and Evie. So Mel is basically our main protagonist. She is the daughter of Maleficent. Carlos is the son of Cruella de Vil. Jay is the son of Jafar, and then Evie is the daughter of the evil queen. This was a pleasant surprise. It was actually a lot of fun. It is a musical. I found the musical beats very similar to High School Musical, which makes a lot of sense because the director is the director of the High School Musical. So a lot of the music kind of followed the same beats. So I liked like half of the songs out of the whole movie. I really enjoyed the costumes. Especially for our main 4 villain characters, I really enjoyed their costumes. They were kind of like edgy, kind of reminiscent of like punk rockers a little bit. So I really enjoyed their costumes for them. It was definitely very colorful. Like the dance choreography for the opening act and the last act were really, really good, I thought. Like I said, some of the music was not the greatest, but it was still fun, like even though the lyrics weren't amazing, and some of the songs are fun. I really liked song 2, which was performed by Kristen Chenoweth, who is Maleficent, and she did a fantastic job of being Maleficent. And her main song was pretty good and fun, so I definitely enjoyed that. It's still a Disney Channel musical. Like, you know, you're getting what you expect. There are some cheesy moments for sure, like especially the teen romance part of the story was very cheesy lines, things like that, but you kind of expect that with a Disney Channel movie. The thing that really worked though for this kind of concept is the camp. The camp was definitely there, and Kristen Chenoweth definitely brought it. Like, she definitely brought a lot of camp to her character, and so I thought it really worked, and I kind of think that Disney should steer into that more often. It's harder when you're doing like a typical contemporary story. It's easy to lean more cheesy than campy, but with fantasy it works really well. So I thought this worked pretty good. Like I said, of course there's cheesy moments throughout the story, but it isn't geared for me. It's geared for a younger audience, so I can see myself, if I was like 12 or 13, I would like fall in love with this story. The acting was really good too, and that's definitely one of the things I look for when it comes to these kind of B-rated or TV movies, is that it needs to have good acting and it needs to have like a decent story. And this definitely had that. I was really pleasantly surprised by the main 4 cast, specifically the actor who played Mel. She did a really good job. I thought she was portrayed her character really well. She knows how to act. She even like cried in the movie, which I was kind of surprised by. So I really enjoyed her presence on the show. Obviously, Kristen Chenoweth was really good as well. I really enjoyed seeing Kathy Najimy. I think that's how you say your name. It was fun seeing her in the costume because it just brought me back to like Sister Act. So it was kind of fun seeing her in that kind of costume, and I thought she did her role pretty good. I think if it wasn't for these famous actors in this film playing Maleficent and the Evil Queen, it would have been kind of just silly. But the fact that they were there and they know how to do camp really well, I think it worked really good. I definitely enjoyed the references when it comes to classic Disney movies and characters, and I think that definitely brought the camp in it as well. And I definitely enjoyed all the little references, even just when it comes to like clothing and costumes. I just loved how Evie, who is the daughter of the Evil Queen, she like carries around a little like her purse is like the chest of where the heart goes, and just like little things like that. It's just a lot of fun. This show, or movie I should say, does follow the typical tropes when it comes to like a teen romance or a teen Disney show or movie. You know, there's instant attraction, the main character and the prince. There is the tropes of, you know, friendship and love will conquer all, but I think it's totally fine. It's a Disney movie. You know, you can't expect nuance when it comes to this kind of show, and since it's for kids, I think it works really well. There were moments of really bad CGI and green screen. It's almost expected for this level production. Those kind of things don't bother me so much. It's harder to stand when there's bad acting and bad writing, and of course there was a little bit of bad writing, but it's a kids show, right? So overall, I've decided to give this a C+. So I definitely enjoyed myself. It was a lot of fun. I recognize its flaws. But I do plan to watch Descendants too and see where the story goes. I know they're bringing in new characters. My enjoyment level was actually more like a B, but I definitely like recognize the flaws of this production. I do recommend, if you really like High School Musical, you'll probably like this. If you like Disney Channel movies in general, you'll probably like this as well. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you have any movies you really want me to review, I'm planning to review movies more often, maybe more so than books on this channel. So if you have any movies you want me to check out and review, please comment down below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you have not done so. Follow me on Instagram and Goodreads. And you know what, guys? I want to keep reading and watching.